Hello everyone, this is L5 and welcome to the Cobra Central Toy Review. And today's toy we're looking at the 2011 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe celebrating the 30th anniversary action figure review. And today's action figure review we're looking at the Wave 3 of the Techno Viper, the Cobra Engineer. Now, I've been waiting for so many years for Hasbro to turn the vintage Techno Viper into the newer form figure, and finally my answer and my wish has been, well, granted. I finally gotten the Techno Viper in the 30th anniversary line, and I'm really happy for this. Really happy, because the Techno Viper, when I was a kid, I did own a vintage Techno Viper. That figure has been long gone by now, but I did manage to own one, and he is among my favorite figure, despite that it's a Cobra engineer, of course. But then again, every battlefield requires an engineer, a combat engineer. Now, enough babbling. I managed to purchase this straight from eBay, and surprisingly enough, this only cost me like $10, which is actually not bad compared to, well, retail pricing. Retail pricing is a bit more cheaper. This one is a bit, $10 is a bit more pricier. This is not including the shipping cost, of course. Now let's take a look at the front portion of the packaging itself. One corner here we have a very realistic and, of course, detailed artwork of the Techno Viper here with two glowing yellow eyes. Very nicely done. Quite a lot of details there. And inside the plastic bubble we have the Techno Viper figure. On one hand, the right hand is supposedly holding the hammer itself, and the left hand is supposedly holding the wielding rifle. Now you got a wielder pistol on one corner and also a hose on this section here. And then we have the shear. The claw is at the back of the figure. I'm going to bring up close a little bit. Here we have the power backpack, and you will notice a Cobra neon green cone. Very nice. And at the back of the figure is the file card with no catalog, which is even better. No catalog is way more better. Now at the back portion of the packaging we have a full image of the Techno Viper there, armed with the wielder rifle, and at the back portion is the power backpack stored with all the tools. Here we have the rest of the lineup. We have the Renegade's Ripcord, Renegade's Scarlet, Renegade's Tunnel Rat, Renegade's Duke, 30th anniversary Techno Viper, which we are reviewing today, the Renegade's Storm Shadow, Renegade's Cobra Trooper, aka Cobra Security Trooper, 30th anniversary Iron Grenadier, and finally the Renegade's Cobra Commander. Bottom section is the file card. I'm going to bring up close a little bit. One corner here we have a Cobra logo. Next to it, codename Techno Viper Cobra Engineer. Bottom section here, stated name none. Here we have a nicer image of the Techno Viper, and one corner here at the top is a seal stamp of the Cobra logo. Very nice. Here is stated primary weapon Plasma Electric Arc Wielding System, the one that he's carrying on the hands there. Combat gear, wielder pistol, pneumatic shears, hammer, claw, hose, and power backpack. It also comes with a diagnostic case with pistol, but as you can see there's none found in the packaging itself. I presume that case with the pistol is being replaced by the cone itself, which is a good thing. They replaced it with the cone. I really wanted to have this. At the bottom is a smaller write-up stated, I'm going to pull up close a little bit. Techno Vipers are Cobra engineers who can build, rebuild, and retrofit anything from weapons to fortresses, hence why they are so important. They use whatever materials they have on hand and send troopers to, quote and unquote, take what they need to complete their project. Their engineering creations are usually powerful, effective, and full of deadly surprises. See? For an engineer, they are pretty deadly. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the figure. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from the packaging. Now let's take a look at the Techno Viper's accessories, starting off with the base stand there. Now it comes with a nice little base stand that's based on the 25th anniversary style with a nice little Cobra logo in the middle, and two pegs for the figure to stand on. Nameplate that's stated as Techno Viper, and at the back bottom section of the base stand stated at 2007 Hasbro made in China. Now the Techno Viper comes with a decent amount of accessories, and what's really awesome about the accessories itself is that majority accessories are similar to the 1987 release of the Techno Viper, which is really great. First, we have a hose here made of a black plastic material color with no paint job at all. Now the hose is meant to connect to the backpack itself, the power pack, and the other end of the hose connects to any of the 4 tools, the 4 larger tools of course. First, we have a small little wielder pistol made of a silver plastic material color with no paint job at all, and the mold here is nothing special. This is the same mold that you find in the 25th anniversary of a comic pack Iron Grenadier, and you can actually store the smaller pistol onto the figure's gun holster, so very nice. Then we have a larger wielder tool here, a wielder rifle made of a silver plastic material color, and the mold is totally new. It bears resemblance to the 1987 version, but the 1987 is a bit more bulkier compared to this. This is much more thinner and more realistic a little bit. Now, for the mold itself, the details is alright. You got a stock at the back, you got a handle here, and the trigger. At the bottom section here, this is a peg to connect the hose. Here you got the barrel that shoots out the flame. Not too sure what is this on the top. Maybe it's a scanner or some sort, or scope. Very nicely done. However, if you use any of the tools besides the rifle here, there's no way for you to properly store it. There is, but well, you just temporarily place it at the back portion of the slot of the power pack there in a weird angle. Next, we have the claw tool. Now the claw tool here is made of a silver plastic material color. You got a nice little mold of a claw, piston, handle at the bottom, peg to plug in the hose. And yes, this is quite similar to the 1987 of the Techno Viper's accessory. Very nice, all new molds. One side of the mold here, as you can see, is quite different to the other side of the mold as well. Very nice. Then we have a sort of a wrench-like tool or a shears tool, as you can see there. This entire tool here is made of a silver plastic material color, and the mold is also all new stuff. Very nice. Both sides of the tool's mold is the same, but still very nice. It's the similar style of the tool that you find on the 1987 version of the Techno Viper. You got a wrench-like tool on the top section here, bottom section here you got a handle and a peg to connect the hose. And finally, we have the final tool, of course, is the hammer itself. Again, the entire hammer is made of a silver plastic material color, and the mold is also all new stuff. You got a hammerhead, a bit of joint there, as you can see. Very nice. Both sides of the hammer itself, the mold is a bit different. Very nice. Bottom section of the hammer, you got a handle and a peg to plug in the hose. Next up, something different. Here we have a cone, a safety cone, a construction cone, whatever you want to call it. This entire thing is made of a neon green plastic material color, and the top section is painted in silver, and here we have a black Cobra logo. Very nice, and it's very nicely done because I am really excited to see this. As you can see, this cone here is really suitable for diorama purposes. And if you have more than one Techno Viper for the 30th anniversary line, and you have a few of these cones, it makes a really good diorama. Now, what's interesting to note is that you can actually connect the cones at the bottom here using this sort of peg there. Not too sure why, but yes, they connect. Or you can slide in like any, well, real life cones, just, well, slide one off the other underneath the cone's hole here. Very nice. Then we have his power pack. The power pack is made of a black plastic material color got a nice big old peg there, the plug-in at the back of the figure. And yes, the mold here is totally new stuff, and similar to the 1987 version of the Techno Viper's power pack. Now the entire thing is made of a black plastic material color, but the two gas tanks here are painted in glossy red, really dark red, and also two metallic paint job in the middle. There's a nice little detail here. You got a meter here, very nice. Got a peg there, this section here. The peg is meant to connect the hose. Bottom section here, you got 3 slots to slot in any of the 3 tools except for the rifle here, because, well, to me I just put it like so. But you basically can slide any of these tools like so. Very nice. Finally, we have his vest made of a purple plastic material color, as you can see there. But there's a lot of paint job involved for this vest. In the middle here, we have a silver paint job on a large Cobra logo, and the background is painted with a darker purple color, and the edges here is painted in black. The top section of the padding and the tubes are painted in a, I would say, a metallic gray paint job. At the end of the tube here is painted in red. At the end here, the smaller button is also painted in red. Here, there's a smaller peg to connect to this section here rather than on the other side, because thanks to the tube here. And this entire vest is new mold, all new stuff. Very nicely done. Very nice. Now let's take a look at the figure's paint job. Now bear in mind, as you can see, majority of the figure's body is not painted at all. It's just pure plastic material color, especially pure purple plastic material color. The lower section of the legs there, starting from the knee all the way to the boots itself, is made of a black plastic material color, and so does the hands there. The belt is a separate piece, as you can see, but there's no way for you to remove it. It's part of the body already. So the belt and the gun holster here is made of a black plastic material color, but on the side of the holster here, this small little belt is painted with a little metallic paint job. And here we have a nice little Cobra logo, very small and tiny Cobra logo here. At the back, there's nothing. Well, the bottom section of the boots itself, as you can see, the shin is painted in purple, dark purple actually. The hands are not painted at all, just pure black plastic material color. The torso and the waist itself, or the lower abdomen area, is not painted at all, just pure plastic material color. No neck joint paint job as well, because this is one full costume, which is very interesting. The arms itself is made of a black purple plastic material color, but the shoulder pad is painted in darker purple with black linings here, as you can see. So that's this section, and the tubings are also painted in a metallic paint job as well. So that's on the other side. And for the head itself, made of a purple plastic material color, but the black parts are painted in black. The silver is painted as well. The eyes is painted in gold, but one side of the eye itself, the paint job is not well done. There's a bit, one section of the eye itself is like rather small. So that's all the paint job you have for the Techno Viper, and I really prefer this color of a purple rather than the original Techno Viper that was released in 1987. It has this kind of color and darker purple and bright neon purple, which is wow, I'm not too sure why. So I am glad that Hasbro didn't use that color for the new figure. So this color is more acceptable. Now let's take a look at the figure's mold. Surprisingly enough, majority of the parts you see here are all new stuff. Some of the parts are reused, some of the parts are modified. Two of the hands here are from Jungle Viper from the Pursuit of Cobra line. Lower arms is actually from the same figure of the Jungle Viper, but heavily modified. As you can see here, they actually modified this lower arm here to have this large padding with tubes that connect on one side to the other side. It's very nice. Upper bicep here is also a new sculpt. A lot of wrinkles, padding, black lining, very nice. Now for the torso and the lower abdomen area, this is very interesting, because majority of the body parts itself, they tend to show there's a bit of a collar at the lower neck joint there, but this figure for the torso part, it doesn't seem to look like it has any collar at all. So it has no, this is not a reused part, because it sort of makes sense, because the whole body is one whole costume. Well, at least most of the parts anyway, if you don't count the vest. And the abdomen area, you get to see there's a little bit of muscles there, but you can see the figure's body is a bit, I would say, scrawnier. Very nice. He's got a nice big thighs there with baggy pants, knee pads, and lower section of the legs there, the boots here. Got this two linings there, which is painted in dark purple. Very nicely done. The head sculpt is something I really like. It bears resemblance to the 1987 version of the Techno Viper, except for the face mask on this section here is a bit more elongated, making it feel like this is like some sort of a gas mask or an air filter. So it sort of makes sense there. You got a helmet on top, very nice. You got a gas filter mask on the face itself, very nicely done. I really love the mode, especially when it comes with a lot of new modes. Let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Head cannot pivot up and down that much, nor side to side, but it can turn 360 degrees. Torso can move forward, back, side to side, and turn 360 degrees. Shoulder joints here can turn 360 degrees and lift the arms this high. Elbow joint here can bend this far, back a little bit, and turn 360 degrees. Now what's funny about this figure is it actually has, well, the newer wrist articulation. So for the right hand side, not only it can swivel 360 degrees, it can pivot down and up. On the other side, it swivels 360 degrees and goes outwards and inwards, because it's based on the Techno Viper's wrist articulation. Now hip joints here move forward, back a little bit, and this is as much it can go for the size, because due to the very large thighs itself. So that's a little bit disappointing. Double jointed knee that bends this much, very nicely done. Then we have the ankle joint that pivots down, up, and turn 360 degrees. Now there is a bit of a complaint from this figure. First, the thighs is a bit too fat. Second, not too sure why, but for my version here, this Techno Viper's ankle, as you can see here, is a bit warped on the inside. It can still bend down, up, and turn 360 degrees. It's just, well, in order for him to stand properly, you need to adjust it a little bit for him to stand properly. Now let's fully equip the Techno Viper with all the equipment. First, pop off the head and have him wear his vest. The vest is a bit pain sometimes for the Techno Viper to wear, but it's still alright. There you go. Plug in the vest. One thing I really don't like about the vest itself is that even if you plug in, as you can see, it kept on bulging out, so it's not really well designed. Pop the head back in, put the power pack at the back here, slide in any of the tools like so. Place in the small little wielder pistol. Have him equip the larger wielder rifle. Place in the hose all the way to the back, like so. Very nice. Place him on the base stand. Very nicely done. And here is his code. Overall, the figure is absolutely gorgeous. First of all, it's a Techno Viper, and I'm a fan of the old 1987 of the Techno Viper there. Second is a Cobra Engineer. If you're into troop building and you're into dioramas, the Techno Viper is there to serve your needs. Repairing your HISS tanks, repairing any vehicles, making a bridge, whatever. Furthermore, the figure has a lot of new parts. Some modified parts, but still looks really great. Has a lot of new accessories. Very nicely done. Very nice. Got a nice accessory for the cone as well. New head sculpt that looks really nice as well. So if I'm gonna give a rating to this, I say the figure is absolutely gorgeous. Really gorgeous. Although there are some problems with the hip joints there, but I'm still very happy having a Techno Viper here. And I cannot give this a perfect 10 because there are some problems with the hip joints and the ankle itself, but still it deserves a nice 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for the Techno Viper. And I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.